Sweet. Thank you for the reminder. So what we're going to do is we're now going to be looking at where we find the people we need to get in touch with to book college gigs. We're going to be looking who we need to get in contact to book high school gigs. We're going to be looking who we contact to book business and nonprofit gigs. So we're going to start off with the colleges. So pick whatever college you want. You could also just put community colleges in your area. And that'd be essentially how it would go. But we're going to start with Lone Star College. So here's where we start. We go to their page. We're going to see, everything that's here on its initial page. What I like to start with is I like to go to their about by understanding their mission and their vision statement. This can help me potentially adjust my my pitch deck in that first initial 3 sentences to maybe highlight some things in which they put here. So for instance, Lone Star College will be a model college globally recognized for achieving exceptional levels of success in student learning, student completion, gainful employment, equity, and affordability. And so essentially what happens here is if you want to mention a couple of these buzzwords in your guys's first 3 sentences, then this could aid you because now you're tailoring it to the school in which you're reaching out to. Is it necessary? No, but you can if you so choose. And so, but what I do from here is I begin to look for particular information. So I look for student services. So they have a student services button. If they did not, I would go here and I would type in student services, or I would type in student leadership. I type in one of the two, but I'm going to go to student services since they have the button for me. So once I've clicked this student services button, now I'm looking to see what links that they have here. So they had advising, career services, accessibility, financial aid. None of this is necessarily what I'm looking for as of yet. Looking here, other resources, and you see all these little things here. And the main one that we are looking at is student life. Student life. This is where you guys are going to try. Now, here's a unique thing. It appears that they have multiple different campuses of this particular community college, which can pose an interesting concept at times, but not too difficult to have to deal with. What you're looking for here is their student life coordinating people. So Office of Student Life Campus Contacts. So these are the different these are the different campus sites, I do believe, in which you would try to be getting in contact with. These would all be emails that you would want to take down and log into your little Excel sheets that you're going to be having. So that way you can have these at the minimum to be able to send your message to. This is the minimum thing that you'd like to do. What I like to do moving forward from here is I prefer to see about, what's the name of it? Associated Student Body. So Associated Student Body, these are the student leaders who make decisions on whether or not people get the chance to come onto their campus and actually engage and participate in activities. Especially at community college level, they have a lot of say and pull on whether or not people can come. And they also always have a advisor in which you can email as well. And here you can see that the advisor's email, direct questions to SGA faculty advisor, Jennifer Ross. This would be an email that you would take down. Sarah Ray would be an email you would also take down. And then here you will see that they have a student government association. I might already be on that page. I am already on that page. But sometimes what they will also have here is they will have the actual members or representatives and their actual emails here for you to be able to gather and then send that information to. But these are the contacts that you will need to be able to get in touch with them. Now, you may be wondering, how do I now get their email in order to be able to communicate with them? Hold on for 1 second, everybody. I'm trying not to kill my computer. Bingo. What I do now is I would copy her name, copy. I'd go up to the top. And now I have a phone number. And this is all the information that you're, drop my phone. This is all the information that you are now logging into an Excel sheet for yourself to be able to organize yourself out. You have emails, phone numbers, and names, as well as their positions in which you know you can get in touch with. And so this is the University Park Government Department. And so you can also come back here and see if you have any further interest in being able to see if you want to reach out to the dean, department chair, but you already have the main point of contact that you were going to reach out to in Jennifer Ross here. And now you have their information for email, phone number, and you could send all of your stuff out. So this is the process that I went through to book my tour. Let's get somebody else to tell me a name of a school that's in the area that they'd like to look at.
Monroe Community College, which is like down the street from my house.
Monroe Community College. Let's look it up.
Yep. MCC. I think their website is monroecc.edu. I used to be a student there. That's the only reason why I know that.
Monroe CC. There we go. So once again, we are here. We're looking at their homepage. They have academics, in which you look through, see if there's anything for you there. Admissions, definitely not for you. Tuition and aid, nope. But they have life at MCC. And now we're looking to see if there's clubs and organizations. That's what you're looking for. Student life and leadership. Faculty and staff. And you have now found the phone numbers and emails to the director, the associate director, and the secretary for this student life department. And if you're now looking for the ignore. And now if we're looking for the like student body leadership, we can once again do ourselves a big favor.
Would it be in the I was gonna say, would it be in the clubs and organizations then?
Potentially.
Oh, look. I probably
and so once again, schools like to hide some of this information. So I mean, like, you can look at their PDF, but also you can go to the search bar and just simply type in associated student government. It's either student government or student body, either one. And so now that it takes you back to the same place. So they just may not have their emails readily available for everybody to have access to, which on your guys' end may not even be necessary all of the time.
Right.
A majority of the time, who I contacted was the actual advisor, which was the faculty and staff. And so you get their email, you get their phone number, and you want to at least get 2 put on there. And so just once again, copy, paste, log it into your Excel sheet. And then now you have your contact information for everybody here for this Monroe Community College. And I'll take one more school.
I got one. Fayetteville State University, FSU, in North Carolina.
Oh, let me share my screen. That would help. Boom. So we're here, Fayetteville State University. And this is actually, thank you, because this isn't a community college, right? This is like a 4-year. Correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Perfect. So the process is immensely similar. We're looking life at FSU, student services and organizations. You come here, and now we're looking at service and leadership. Student leadership, use your voice, applications, deadlines. And so it doesn't really have a whole lot of information here about who you should get in touch with. But let's go back and let's look at that clubs and organizations list. And you might be able to find some more information here. Guidance for all clubs and organizations, advisor resources. What is an advisor? No, none of the information that we are looking for is readily available here. Thank you so much for picking this, by the way, because you'll run into this issue with quite a few colleges where it's hard to find the actual people who you're trying to get in touch with. Because trust me, I run into that a lot. Right here on this page, you'll see you have a student government email that you can utilize quickly to just make sure, say, oh, I have one email I can for sure use, as well as a phone number. That is one thing that you can make sure that you at minimum have, which is something I would advise making sure you take. If you end up not being able to find the email address for the person who's the coordinator over student government, then you can call this number right here. You can call that number and say, hi, I'm looking for the advisor for your guys' student associated student body or student government. And then they would say, oh, yes, it's this person. Here's their email and phone number. What were you trying to get in touch with them for? And then you would explain what you're trying to get in touch with them about. And so let's see if we can finesse this. Associate student. I have no idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, 15-minute coffee break. 15-minute break, please take it now.
So that way you guys can kind of see a little bit of what's happening in my life currently. Hold on. So I'm trying not to destroy my thing. But so like we're in like rehearsal mode. So you see that little small TV? Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
So like that's like what's happening on stage while like I'm here in this like really tiny room, like just waiting for them to call me up. So this is backstage life, not entirely not super fun. So associated student led me to nothing. What I'm going to now do is I'm going to look up a staff directory. Faculty and staff finder. Academic affairs. So some schools offer this, some schools don't, but like they listed theirs. So I would go to student affairs and I would hit search. And now what I'm now looking for is they have a bunch of different names and titles. As I said, this is the longest process that you're going to go through in this. The copy, paste, send is going to be immensely quick. This is not going to be, that's not the hard part. This is the difficult part, trying to just find the people who you need to get in touch with. So you have somebody who's a housing specialist. You have another administrative tech assistant, licensed practical nurse. Student resident director, assistant resident director, social media marketing, housing specialist, faculty maintenance, student service specialist, business systems. Let's continue to move through, see who we find in here.
Dustin Javella merely standing by to run his act. We are confirming Hope.
They're not gonna call me up. Director of Student Center. That could be a potential person you would need to get in contact with, because the Student Center is more than likely where all of the student government is actually held. So you would have their phone number as well as their email. And then once again, you can, and Director of Student Leadership and Development and Special Projects. Right there for you. You have an email, you have a phone number, and you even have a building. So can you see it? Perfect. So this is what I'm saying. Like, this is the hard process. Like, this is the hard labor and work of this entire thing, is just gathering all of the information that you're going to need in order to be able to like contact, get in touch with everybody and get it organized enough so that way you can send it out. I'm going to give you guys I don't know if my notes are synced up here on this computer. I don't think that they are. And if they are, it's going to take them forever. I won't do that to you. I won't make you guys wait. Oh, they are synced up. Perfect. Let's see if it'll pop up. But in the meantime, where'd you go, Bella? Oh, there we are. 1 second. Trying to see if this thing will load up for me.
Can I put you in charge of Cody and Mom going upstage with you for the bow? Upstage of the,
I apologize. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to make sure that I can show you guys what I had for you. I'm using a new computer today.
Brandon, I did have a question.
What's happening?
Depending on, would it also be in wise, I guess you could say, to contact a BSU, depending on like what it is that you're trying to do? So like say specifically for February, if you wanted to be at a college, would it be best to go through a BSU than the SGA, or both, or just
here's my only issue with contacting BSUs. They're historically underfunded. And what I mean by that is like they deserve more money than what they get, but they don't get nearly enough funding for what they do. And so oftentimes going through a BSU, unless it's like a school that like highly values its Black student populace, you're going to end up running into the issue of that they'll say, hey, we want to bring you out, but this is the amount of money that we have for the year. Most BSUs and like in clubs in general get somewhere between like $5,000 to $6,000 for their like full year run at a lot of schools, which means that you coming in charging $2,000 is eating up a third of what they had for the year, or even a fifth if they have $10,000, right? And so they're trying to make a lot of BSUs save all their money for February to try to make it pop. And it's sometimes hard. All right, cool. So I can share this with you. So I would recommend reaching out to the SGA first, because the SGA may book you and compensate for the BSU for you to be a part of their BSU event. Because the SGA is what so student government is where people go to get their clubs approved. So SGA is the funding source for their clubs. So the SGA has way more money than any individual club has. So let me share my screen. So before I've never used an Excel sheet until I had her. And so, but this is what I did. I organized all of my stuff color coded in terms of people who I reached out to and spoken with, contacted and had not spoken with, not contacted, contacted and booked, contacted and not interested. So I had this color coding system. And what I did was I broke mine down. I had Christian schools and I found all of this information for different Christian schools that I was interested in, junior colleges, and then I just ran off the gambit of all these different junior colleges in which I found their information for. And then, yep, still in the community college realm. Oh no, I'm not there anymore. Major universities, so like 4-year joints, and then just rattled those off. And then what I began doing as well was I started tying in. I started blocking it by city. So I would find high schools in the area that I would then find the information for to then email and send out as well. So that way I knew I was trying to book as much as I could in that city while I was there. Because most of your college stuff, if you're especially just doing a performance, is going to be in the evening. You're going to be there at like between 7 to 8, between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. That's going to be your hours of operation, which means you have a whole daytime free and available to be able to book and do other things or do other stuff. So this was what mine looked like. And like, I ended up filling this whole thing out on an actual document where I got like all of this information plus like 300-400 more schools that I was able to collect. And so, yeah, this was wildly beneficial. And I can tell you the ones I booked. I booked this school. I got Humboldt University. I got every single high school in this area because I had a connect from Humboldt University that connected me to the high schools and they wanted to bring me out. Boise State never responded to me, not once talked to me. So I called, emailed, hassled them. They wanted nothing to do with me. UC San Diego, they responded and said, hey, we appreciate you for reaching out. We're not interested at this current point in time. I booked Grand Canyon University. I got UC Santa Cruz. I did get that one, and none of these high schools, because Santa Cruz doesn't like to pay for school. Santa Cruz high schools do not like to pay for poets to come into their classrooms because there's a lot of poets in the city who go into classrooms for free, which messes up the economy for traveling poets to be able to come in and do work with their students.
Brandon, I have a question.
What's that?
Kind of for the group and also you, I guess. I don't know about y'all, but again, I like to work smarter, not harder. Would it be doing too much to ask people to like create a list for their city and we just share that? Like,
Oh no, I would
ask
highly
me if y'all
recommend
cool
it.
with that. So I ain't gotta go do all the work myself. I'm glad to do it for Houston or someplace, but I don't know y'all cities. So, I don't know if we okay with like leveraging each other to get that thing done instead.
If that's what you all would like to do, I mean, like,
Posing it to the group, just throwing an option out there if y'all feel okay with that.
No, I'm definitely with it, Lachelle. And since Red Lion said something about everybody dropping their Instagram tags, if y'all want to, we can start a group within like the Instagram where we, go in and like socialize and put that information. But yes, that saves a whole lot of time.
or if you guys just make a singular Google Sheets.
Like a Google Doc, a spreadsheet, and y'all could just drop it in by your city if y'all don't mind. I think all y'all emails are on like an email that Brandon sent out, and I could draft it and give everybody access, and we can just start filling it in.
So, and I'm gonna tell you all a little bit of a gift. I'm gonna ruin the gift I did. I actually, I made a list of 70 for you all already. So that's part of the gift is I
Set
got
that up. Thank
I
you.
got 70, I looked up 70 schools, did all the research. They're not all in your cities or states, but the cool part is working with colleges, they fly you. So you won't have to worry about that. But I have 70 because, as I said, if you're able to book, let's say 10% of what let's say you were able to book 10%, which is a high rate of what you reach out to. 10% of 70 is 7. If you charge in $3,000 per site, you just made 21,000. So, and with Black History Month coming up, now is the time. Sonny, what's popping?
Did the colleges, when they fly you out, did they provide did they give you like something for like a hotel room? When you were saying,
Oh yeah, housing, food, and hotel all covered, as well as ground transport. They picked me up from the airport, or they got me a rental car. Maurice.
The spreadsheet idea is a great idea. I'm also going to say that I work at Davidson College in North Carolina. People usually know that school from where Steph Curry come from.
Yep.
If y'all wanted to come down here or begin planning something for Black History Month next year, we can get that arranged. They have deep pockets down here. So
You see my face, right?
see your face. Yeah, we can shake.
What you mean?
we
Put
can shake
everybody
this
on your
conversation.
list.
So like
Yeah.
we having a whole like poets from Brandon Leake's business course bash
Yeah, that could be
February at your college, and the ticket gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 plus poets.
Yes, sir. Let's shake it up.
So, but yes, so and this is kind of the point of not doing this solo, is the fact that we get the opportunity to like all work, as stated, smarter, not harder in this regard. Now, let's do the colleges are the easy people to book. Let's go with the most annoying people to book, our little ones. Somebody give me a high school.
Erasmus High School in Brooklyn.
What's the name of it?
Erasmus.
Ain't giving us no money.
I mean, he asked for a school. It's just what came to my head.
Arachnus?
Good. I'm just being funny.
It's ERASMUS.
Who did they name this school after?
I don't know. I didn't go there.
So Aramis High School.
Erasmus.
Sorry. So we are here inside schools. And this is the most annoying thing with high schools is a lot of time they don't even actually have like individual websites. They have like district-wide websites for these types of things. And they don't allow for you to have the contact information for all the people who you need to get in touch with. Because, as I've stated, principals are really busy and hate being annoyed by us people trying to make money off of their campuses. So, as you can see here, they didn't even necessarily have like a regular website for me to be able to find, right? Because like I click their website and it takes me to this very strange place, insideschools.org. I don't know what that actually means. So
We are back.
I'm going to go to schools.nyc.org, and it appears I found some information. So I have a phone number. I have a school website now. And this appears to actually be a school website.
We will run the transition from
Located in the heart of Brooklyn. Perfect. So now, here's what we're looking at. When we're on a high school website, they look like they let their kids design this website. Jesus Christ. I'm like, yo, this is supposed to be faculty and staff. Like, there's no information here. More to come. All righty. I don't even know if this is a real website for this is not a real website. I do not believe this for 1 second. So if you're running, school contacts and information, school leader, here is the principal. When you click this, what's going to happen is it opens on my end, like my little map or my little mail thing. So that way I can know who exactly it won't give me their actual email address. But if you hit copy email address and then you go here and then hit type, you get their email. Now, here's what I usually recommend to people. I recommend, if you have the opportunity to, reaching out to either their theater or English departments. Because as spoken word artists, we're considered theater in a lot of people's eyes because we do what people would consider to be monologues. And so you can have an inroad through that department who actually also has money. Also through their English department, of course, which is easier for a lot of us because now if you have that workshop that I mentioned to you previously, you now have an inroad to be able to say, hey, I have a workshop that like really emphasizes reading and learning strategies for students within this age demographic. For students in this age demographic. And I think that it'd be really helpful and useful for your student population. And then now you're talking to the English teacher who's tired of their students already and is longing for somebody to come in and come help them out because teaching high school kids can suck sometimes. And you're going to be the cool uncle or auntie who's going to tell them kids the exact same thing that their teacher been telling them all year, but then it's suddenly going to click because you're new. So that's what we're going for. So if you get the opportunity to be able to find the information for like their actual departments, then that's what we do. So for instance, I'll go to high school I know. This is my good old alma mater, right? So here we have pretty much everything that you would need to be able to find information. We're gonna go here. And I'm going to look for staff directory. Whoa, why did that not pop up? Oh, I see. So this is Edison being really stupid. Give me 1 second. And as I said, these are the hardest ones to find in books. Now, I found everybody who I'm looking for. Problem is, I don't know what their positions are. So this is a teacher's page directory. Doesn't help me in being able to understand who or what position they have. So that doesn't necessarily help. But I can come here and I'm going to go back here. Edison High School English Department. Oh, they played me. So as I said, these things are probably the most frustrating part of trying to actually book and reach out to places. What I often did was I would just call the school and I would just ask for like, hey, like who's the head of your English department? And they'd say, oh, this person. I'd be like, thank you. I'm going to reach out and see if I can get in touch with them. And so the other thing you can do is you can like go through here and see if you can find their names and information, but it can be really complicated at times. The other part, which is of course the obvious part, is you just get their principal's email. And that would be one thing that I would recommend you for sure do, is get their principal's information. Oh my goodness. I apologize. Oh. Oh. So if you go to About Us, you'll be able to find most of the time the principal's email and phone number. You're rarely going to be able to get the principal on the phone, which is why I don't recommend using this as like the sole way to try to get in touch with him. Oh, let's go. I didn't even realize that they had this on this website because they never had this before. But if you go to their contact page, most of the time it's just like one of those really basic things where it's like, oh, hey, like insert your name, your email, and your message, as well as the title of your email, and then press send. But instead, now some schools, I guess, offer this. And let's see if they have anything for English.
Full house tonight. That's gonna be fun, isn't it?
Oh, frick, we have a full house. We have a full house of 1,500 people here tonight. This should be entertaining. But as stated, making sure that you email the principal as well as 2 English teachers. So 3 people would be my recommendation, or you can do an English teacher and a theater teacher. Somebody else give me a high school that I can find.
And they paid, so they'll be way more into it.
North Shore Senior High.
All right, let's go. So preacher, we're gonna do our new cue here. So if you could take it from, say, the last little bit of your act and the Simon Cowell American Dream.
We are here. And the beauty of it is that they have a friggin' staff button. Oh, that's not for us though. Dang it. School information. Let's see what's there. Accountability, bus, school history, campus information, location, campus profile. Boom, nothing there. Let's see if there is a potential.
You made me nervous. I can't tell depth up here. I get very nervous. Okay, but you know that's coming in. You know that's coming in.
Let's go back here and see about a staff directory.
I would say better tonight. So when you start, if you could just be one step closer to the audience, that would make me feel better. Yes, please. Just so I don't.
So now you're here, and once again, the issue is they don't tell you what these people's positions are. And so you can type in principal.
That's good. So preacher, just do your lines for us, please. Thank you. And then your exit.
And they don't have that there. But let me go back to this. Go to campus information. So they will give you the phone number. Oh, a contact us button. And this contact us button doesn't give us a great deal of information, but having a phone number means you automatically can get in touch with them to be able to call and just ask for the emails and names of the people who you need to get in touch with, which unfortunately, high schools, a great deal of the time, that's exactly what you end up having to do. finding college information took me like a quarter of the time that it took me to be able to get the actual high school information that I was looking after. And also, high schools didn't yield the same percentage of success that colleges did. When it came to colleges, I found a great deal more success being able to reach out and actually get booked versus high schools. I had to learn the finesse of being able to communicate with high schools to book my time with them, which became increasingly easier as I understood their language and what they were looking for. But early on, it was just a really hard process. I'm going to hold off on running into the nonprofit sector of it until next week, because I want to make sure that I leave time for people to ask questions. Also, I uploaded our first 2 sessions to YouTube. I just need to get to my other computer so that way I can upload the 3rd session, and then I'm going to send out the links for this one. And I'm going to send out the links for all 4 of our sessions tonight, as soon as everything gets uploaded to YouTube for you all to have. But any thoughts, questions, feelings? Was this helpful for anybody?
So like, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? My dad is a principal at a high school. So like, while you were just talking about that last school, I literally just went downstairs and was like, "Hey, yo, dad, let me holler at you." So it was helpful because like, I didn't say this is what I want to do right now because I'm not prepared for it right now. But I asked him if he was even open to that idea, like if they had things they were planning for February specifically. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, bet. That's all I need to know. I'll be back. So,
and
yeah.
the reality is success begets more success in our industry. So like, the more you're booked, the easier it is to book more.
Right.
So yeah, like just getting the first few kind of inevitably helps you snowball it. And you start feeling like, oh, cool, I got a few under my belt. Because there's a lot of angst making the cold calls in the beginning, trying to figure out what language works, how to talk. And then you get in a rhythm and you book a few, and then a couple don't work out. And you're like, dang, I got to switch it up again. And then you switch it up. And it's all about understanding who you're talking to, what their needs are, what they're longing from you, and how to be able to finesse them into saying, I will pay you because you called me.
Very nice, Jimmy.
Any other people with questions or feelings or thoughts? Are they having Jimmy sing for real?
I don't think so.
I think so. Man, they were running that boy voice ragged. Poetic Evolution. I know, don't stress it, dog. We got you. I'll see if I can upload this one immediately. I would upload the 3rd one, but I just have to get back to my hotel with my other computer. Red Line, you got to get your lights back on, dog. But no, seriously, this is the time to ask questions. Anybody got any other questions? Did this help anybody in better understanding how to book?
Yeah, so those
Yeah,
first.
have you-
Oh,
Go
excuse me. You got it, bro.
Okay, I was saying, Brandon, with the private schools, like the boarding schools that be like colleges, do you just take it like the junior colleges? Like, I don't know if you've tried the Sidwell Friends or the boarding schools or anything like that, because they're supposed to have money because they charge a small fortune like colleges and universities. But
Are those
know,
like high schools and grade schools that are the boarding schools?
some of them are as little as elementary schools, but I mean like Sidwell Friends where President Obama's daughters go, or like like Exeter Academy or anything like that.
Oh, I've never done a boarding school. I never even thought about that market, because I don't even know if there are boarding schools in California. I've never even looked into this.
Oh, I'm definitely sure of that. All the rich people in Beverly Hills. Sure.
Shoot, man, I've never looked into it, so that might be another market. I would treat it like I would treat the interesting part would be I would treat it the same way I would treat a regular high school, because you're going to have to communicate with like their dean. But I guess also that's like a different thing, because that's also how you communicate with colleges. Oh, but no, thank you. And Maurice and then Sunny.
Yeah, so back to our previous session, when you're reaching out to these schools, you're offering your like full package of services or just like catering it to the specific place?
Nope, full package. I say, hey, this is kind of like a smorgasbord. You select what you want from me. Here are the price ranges I offer. And if you select more than one, I don't quote them for what it costs to get group pricing to get stuff. I just quote them for what it costs to get everything individually. And then if they want to buy the group stuff, I say, hey, so what all were you interested in particularly, right? And they'll tell me something to the effect of like, yeah, we were wanting a workshop in your performance. So we see on your fees that you charge, 3,000 for the performance and 1,500 for the workshop. So that's 4,500, correct? And then you know what you say? Yes, yes, it is. Until they ask, do you give a group discount for particular things? You operate as if everything stays the exact same price. So, Sonny, what's popping?
I missed the last session, so I don't know if y'all went over this last time, but how do you determine like setting the price?
So determining the price is a really individual concept. I don't like to tell people what they should do. I tell people with colleges charge no less than 1,000, not including travel and food and stay. No less than 1,000, because you're not just setting a bar for yourself, you're setting a bar for spoken word as a whole. Anytime you step foot on a place. Now, if you're going to charge somebody $1,000 for essentially a 20-minute set, you're getting paid $1,000 for 20 minutes, which on par would be 3,000 for an hour, right? You better damn well be good. Like, make sure that you are good at what you go up there and go do. And so that's what I said, like, when I tell you guys that, like, yo, like, I know a lot of garbage artists who get paid good money, they're entertaining. They weren't meant to go there and change people's lives. They're meant to make people have an escape from their reality at the time. That is not necessarily what we as artists provide. We provide life-changing material for people, as well as some entertainment in the midst of it. So make sure that when you step foot on that stage, you're not stumbling and fumbling through poems. Make sure that you are prepared and ready to go, because that's what the audience deserves. That's what the institution paid you to do. Like, you do not hit a stage in good conscience up there fumbling through poems. Same, like, even like, for instance, I don't crap on people for reading poems. I just don't read poems when I'm getting paid. Like, it's a very, like, I may during the course of a set say like, hey, yo, I have one new poem. You guys want to hear it? And introduce it that way, so that way they feel special, as if they're getting something new that I've never done before, because now they feel in on something that the world's never gotten previously. And that's a different context. But if you're up there pulling a Rupi Kaur, reading the entire book, but having none of it memorized, that's what you could have done at Barnes and Noble, fam. Like, this is not the same concept. We are spoken word artists. We are performers. We go up on that stage and we lay it out. So that's my thing. Make sure that you guys, if you're going to be charging these rates, no less than 1,000, make sure that you are good at what you do.
It's also the way you're holding it. So let's just.
Any other thoughts, feelings, concerns?
Our name drop.
Oh, did you say the Rupi Kaur name drop?
Yeah, I was like, not the Rupi Kaur name drop. Yeah,
and this is no shade to her poetry. Like, I think that, like, there's a lot of people who enjoy her work, but she has a whole 1 hour special. In fact, pause.
I've seen it. You ain't even gotta do it. Don't even do it.
Nah. Cause we doing this. Frick you mean? I'm not playing around here.
Yo. She really was standing there, like, with the whole, yeah.
So I'm just gonna show y'all.
It wasn't a good look for spoken word artists. That's all I'm gonna say.
But she's not a spoken word artist. She's already said this, so I don't crap on her for that. Prime Video. Boom. Boom. So I'm gonna play this for you all, so that way you guys can see what I'm talking about. And then I'm gonna get to you, Bella. Give me 1 second.
With a perfect script. And we have to clear our table by.
Left, which one of us hurt more? I shattered into a million little pieces, and those.
Oh, it's not gonna let me share it because they don't want me to like copyright her stuff. I see. Okay, hold on for 1 second.
Justin Sabella with his props in, and he can start his performance. Thank you. There was some kind of